Today, Jesse Good has no introduction because he doesn't know what he will be speaking about. His assignment, should he choose to accept it, is to present an impromptu speech on one of 5 topics. This is speech number 1 from the Specialty Speeches Manual. The objective is to speak off the cuff. So I have 5 subjects here, and you guys will decide my fate. Life's lesson learned. Everything speaks. Better service in 7 minutes or less. How to hold others accountable. Creating lasting change. Fourth one?
That's my vote.
That was the first vote. Vote for 4
Creating
and 5.
lasting change.
So it's between how to hold others accountable or create lasting change. Any preferences?
Lasting change.
Lasting change.
Okay, lasting change. Sorry. You got outvoted. Sorry. Okay, let's hear for Jesse Good. All right.
How long is it?
5 to 7 minutes. Ready? We all have goals in life that we would like to accomplish. And sadly, what often happens is that we fall prey to what is called the fundamental attribution error. Is anybody familiar with the fundamental attribution error? No? Okay, just checking. The fundamental attribution error is a term used by social scientists to describe what we often think of ourselves when we fail in changing. I just didn't want it bad enough. I just didn't try hard enough. And when you're trying to change, you often hear things like this, either from in here or from out there. You need to try harder. You have to really want it. You just didn't want it bad enough. Have any of you ever said things like that to yourself? It's okay to admit it. 2 people did. What we often don't realize is that there are other sources around us in our lives that impact the things that we do and how we act. For example, I will share a personal experience I've had. Some of you are familiar with this story. Bart, there's no hippie shakes in this story. Some of you wouldn't recognize me if I posted a picture up of myself roughly 4 years ago. I was about 60 pounds heavier. And over a couple of different tries, I said, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to eat right, and I'm going to exercise. I remember when my wife and I were fairly newlywed, and I said, I've got to get up in the morning, and I have to exercise. And I woke up, and I started playing that song, Eye of the Tiger. I was so excited to get out there and start running, and I went outside. I grew up in Wyoming, and you know what it is in Wyoming? It's cold and windy. Those are my best 2 words right there. I ran about a block and gave up for 3 years. And I tried again and again, and it seemed like I just never wanted it bad enough. And that was what I told myself. I have to want it. I have to get motivated. I've got to do this. I've got to try harder. But that really wasn't my problem. I had plenty of motivation. Do any of you read Rodney's blog? A couple of hands there. He posted a great post a few weeks ago about motivation. Did anybody read that one? Do you remember what he says motivation is like, Kim? Maybe?
I don't remember
It's
the
been a few
specifics.
weeks. That's okay. He relates it to a car and how motivation is the starter on a car. It doesn't keep the car running. It just starts the car. And I had the motivation. I started plenty of times. But I could never keep the car running. There was a few things that I learned that I needed to do. One was my own personal ability. I needed to have the ability to change. Specifically in this case, I love to eat. And I had to learn to keep track of what I see a lot of superhero movies coming out nowadays. If I was in a superhero movie, you know what my superpower would be? Eating. I can eat endlessly. I can eat, I don't get full, and I don't know why. I wish I did, I just don't want it bad enough, apparently. I've sat and eaten entire pizzas before by myself. That's how I get over depression. Bad way to get over depression. So I had to learn to keep track of what I was eating. And who knows what the recommended amount is when you're not drinking hippie shakes? What's the recommended amount of calories per day? 2,000.
About 24 feet.
You give me 24? Thanks. When I started keeping track, I found that I was consuming close to 5,000 calories every single day. So when I cut that down to a regular amount, like 2,000, it started to make a difference right away. I stopped drinking the devil's drink, which is soda of any kind. Now, I'm not saying soda's bad. Now I drink soda once in a while, just kind of like a treat. But I've laid off it much more. So I cut down my amount of calories. I had to create some habits around getting out and exercising. Art, you've shared how hard it is to get out and exercise when you're overweight. Sometimes it seems like you have to start losing the weight before you feel like you can get out and exercise. Another thing that slowed me down was my social environment, the people around me. What I found was that not only was I about 60 pounds heavier, my best friend had gained 60 pounds as well. But we didn't really notice because we kept good company together. And we often joked about how Kevin James was such a great actor. Anybody familiar with Kevin James? He's overweight, funny guy. We felt like, hey, it's okay to be the funny fat guy. That's all right. One of the biggest things that made a difference for me was learning about space and tools. For example, today we have a word of the day placed back here. It's phase, and I'm trying to remain unfazed, but it's so easy to see now. It's right there where we can see it, where it used to be, over here where it was hard to see. The last time that I said, I'm really going to get up and I'm going to do this, I'm going to exercise and I will not fail, I woke up in the morning and all I had were some nice dress shoes. I had some old sweats that I had worn as a teenager. I didn't really have anything to use for exercise. So once I got my exercise outfit ready and started eating right, then the weight started coming right off. So what does this mean for you? If you are trying to change something, a bad habit in your life, don't fall prey to the fundamental attribution error. If you are failing at changing a habit, it is likely not because you don't want it bad enough or you're not trying hard enough. There may be things you need to learn, there may be friends you need to make, or maybe friends you need to distance yourself from, as well as tools that you can use in your life to help you reach your goal. Thank you.